I want to be a person who does a talk show, who plays games, who makes vlogs, who writes books sometimes, who makes music sometimes, who happens to be trans. I just want people to appreciate my content for what it is. When I first started on YouTube, I didn't totally have a super clear idea of what I wanted to do just yet. So the thing is that content is not always clear when you first start. Sometimes you try different things and you kind of figure out as you're stumbling around, like, oh, I like this, or oh, this works. And my channel has been around for a year and a half or something like that now, as of the time of this recording. The earliest videos that I uploaded, there were a few vlogs. I call them QTVs, Quick Thoughts Vlogs. And they were little, like, kind of 3 to 5 minute things of me talking about it, sort of like extended TikToks, really. And aside from that, again, I was just trying to have some content on there to be found. And so I recorded a short series called Trans Talk with Lacey. And to this day, a couple of the videos in that series are my most popular. By far, trans dating is my most popular video and is the one that tends to get commented on the most often. And much to my happy surprise, the comments have been, for the most part, pretty positive, which I didn't expect and I'm grateful for. And to be honest, though, I've considered making that video private. In fact, I've considered making all the videos in that series private. And the reason for that is because I don't want to get pigeonholed. There's this phenomenon in the transgender community that people tend to kind of go one of two ways usually. There's trans people who will transition and they'll get really, really deep into the community and they'll become kind of like an ambassador and a shepherd, and they want to help other people figure things out and get through their transitions, and they become really kind of integral to the community for years and years. Like, they'll make a name for themselves doing that. It's just something that they feel is important and valuable and they want to do. And then there's other trans people who will get into the community for, a year or two as they do their initial transition, maybe once they get to the point of having their surgeries. And then after that, they might kind of figure, you know what? I just want to be a person. I just want to live my life. Yes, I'm trans, but I don't want that to be a defining part of who I am and what I'm about and what people think of me. And that is also valid, and a lot of trans people go that way. And I'm sort of in between, although I feel like I'm leaning more towards the just happen to be trans side of things. And that's kind of where I find myself now, where in part I'm not necessarily trying to hide it, but I'm also not trying to put it up front with like a neon sign or anything. Like, yes, it's true, but it's just one part of a lot of different parts of me and my identity and what matters to me. And I am glad if I can make some content that does appeal to and resonate with and help people who might be trans or might be questioning. But I don't intend to make really much more trans-focused content, at least not right now. That might change, but like, I'm doing my talk show now. I'm really enjoying that. I happen to have a lot of trans guests on that just because that's who I know does the big part of my social circle right now. And so when I started doing it, that's who was available to interview. But I never wanted the show to be a trans show. I never wanted it to be only trans guests. And thankfully now it's starting to expand outward and I'm getting more variety and diversity there. But yeah, like when I'm checking my stats on YouTube, my analytics, and I keep seeing those videos and I'm like, I'm getting good traffic from those videos, and that means people are finding my other stuff too. But it also, I'm afraid to get pigeonholed still. And I guess that's partly why I've tried to make an effort. Like, I got started doing Twitch and it was like, hey, I'm gaming and I'm talking, and I didn't really talk about that. Like, yes, it was a thing. Again, I acknowledge it, but I think ultimately I do just kind of want to be a person. I want to be a person who happens to be trans, who does a talk show, who plays games, who makes vlogs, who writes books sometimes, who makes music sometimes, all these different things that I do. And I just want people to appreciate and value my content for what it is. Like I said, I kind of debate, should I maybe eventually hide those videos, make them private, just unlist them. I've been kind of waffling on that. Like, I haven't done it yet, obviously, or at least as the time of this recording, I haven't done it. But I've thought about it, and I've wondered if I did that, how much of a hit would my channel take? Because I'm noticing that the talk show is starting to get a little bit more attention, and a couple of my more recent vlogs have started to get a little bit of attention, and that's great. I mean, I guess now it's Pride Month, so I guess kind of removing them now maybe would not be the wisest timing. Yeah, I guess I am a little bit uncomfortable with that being the first thing that people know about me when they've come across my channel, or if that video just shows up in their suggestions and they watch it and they be like, oh, I wonder more about this person. I would kind of like people to just be like, oh, it's just Lacey, just a person doing stuff. Because I know that knowing things like that about someone, if they're gay or they're trans or they're autistic or whatever it may be, if you know those things about them, that it can color and influence what you think and how you perceive and judge that content. And again, I hope that my content stands well enough on its own that that's not too much of an issue. But at the same time, I've seen what happens to other trans creators sometimes. If you're kind of too public, too outspoken, there's gonna be people that are gonna come around and they're going to make trouble, and they're going to kind of try to rain on your parade and ruin your day. And I know it's up to me to not let them, but I do worry about things like, death threats or stalking or things like that. But I know it's a possibility, and so I guess that's also a part of why I don't really put it right up front in big neon letters, because it's not a distraction or a detraction from what I do that I want to be an issue. So if you found my channel through any of those trans talk videos that I did, that's fine. You're here now. I'm glad you're here. I hope you stick around and check out the other stuff that I do. But yeah, like I said, I don't specifically plan to do, unless something comes up that really makes sense to talk about. And of course, I am still going to end up having some trans guests on my talk show, and I might do some collaborations with some other people at some point who happen to be trans. But yeah, I just wanted to, again, to kind of say that I'm just Lacey. I'm just a person. That's how I think of myself. And again, I hope that my content, my ideas, my words, my thoughts, my feelings, my insights, my projects, I hope that it all can stand on its own and not be judged or kind of looked down upon in some way because I'm, in a visible minority or whatever. Again, I think it's fine to be like proud and accepting of it. And again, I don't try to hide it. I'm posting a new video talking about it. I generally try not to go out of my way too much anymore, but it does come up, and I just try to not treat it with any special attention. I don't know if I have much else to say about it than that. If you want to leave a comment or a question, feel free to do so. Again, I'll put up a thing on the screen of all the places that you can find me, all the things that I do, because again, I do a lot of things, and I hope that you will appreciate it just for what it is. And I look forward to connecting with people who just appreciate what I do for what it is. Yeah, I mean, at the same time, if you're watching this and you're trans, I don't want you to think that I don't welcome you or I don't like you or I don't want to interact with you. I'm just a person, and I don't want to make this my identity. So it is what it is. And yeah, again, thanks for being here. Happy Pride Month. If you're watching this during Pride Month, wherever you are, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed and that you learned something. Please be sure to like and subscribe so you'll be able to catch my next video as soon as it comes out. And if you want to see more from me, head over to artemiscreates.com or subscribe at patreon.com/artemiscreates for bonus content. Stay curious and see you next time.